The ANC says it will make a decision on former President Jacob Zuma today. It comes after Zuma endorsed the newly founded uMkhonto Sizwe party, which is set to rival the governing party at this year's elections. Now, the ANC NEC met over the weekend to discuss a number of issues, including the Zuma question, so to speak. There's also been calls by some factions within the organization for Zuma to be expelled for this move. Let's get you some analysis. Bring in political analyst Professor Lesiba Teffo now, who joins us via our telephone line this Monday morning. Prof, always great getting your insights on these issues. Thanks for making time. Does the ANC dare fire its former number one?
Well, if it wants to, it can. There is no problem with that. I think why they are a bit jittery or circumspect is, I think, among others, is the fact that he's not your ordinary Joe out there. Let's not underestimate the influence and the support that he still has. While others may say you are overstating the fact, but I can also not be oblivious of the fact that he's coming across like a tsunami, a tide wave that is sweeping the country, and so far, so good for him and those who are working with him.
Yeah.
So I understand they are circumspect, given what they see clearly that it's a man with immense influence and support.
Absolutely, and that's what underpinned my question to begin with, right? There is going to be a consequence no matter what the ANC decides. The question is, how do they navigate those troubled waters? Part of the sentiment that had been shared, at least by some senior members of the ANC, was that if the governing party moves on this now, before the election, they run the risk of Zuma emerging after this as a martyr. Do you share that sentiment?
Either way you look at it, right? If you fire him now, the consequences are going to be dire. I would rather keep him inside for now and cause minimum damage than the damage you would cause if you were to fire him now. I think it's almost an either or at this point. Which one is the worst scenario? I think the better scenario is the one that keeps him now, right? Well, you look at it at a later stage. At a later stage, it might even be inconsequential. But for now, I think the price might be too high to pay. There is going to be an electoral cost, anyway, given the support that is apparent. But I think it's better off. It might be mortal if they were to fire him now.
Right. I wonder if there is a comfortable space in the middle, right? We're speaking about this as either on or off, whether he's fired or not. But is there a possible third option here where the ANC could be unequivocal about what uMkhonto Sizwe is and isn't, and send out perhaps a clearer message for the constituency out there, which may very well be confused actually about where to place the former president, especially because of the close associations that MK does have to the ANC's own history? But
look, we can play with language here, right? Either way we please. But the thrust of what is going on right now is that you call it MA or you call it whatever. The man applied his mind, and we know he's good at this game, and he knows how to play it. It is the name that he keeps. And he also says, by the way, I'm doing what I'm doing as a pragmatist, solely to save my party. I'm doing it to save the ANC, not for personal gain or interest. I think that's the message. And that's where it becomes blurry. And it is deliberate and intentional on his part to play it that way. And someone said to me, why is he not disclosing now his support, his leadership structure? I said, it's part of the strategy. Don't tell me about the law. I understand the law. He doesn't qualify. He doesn't want to go to parliament. He's not that stupid. But if you were to tell the people, I'm not going to be on the ballot paper now, it might impact the support. When it is done and dusted, and there's nothing wrong, by the way, with him being on the poster, in the same way we are told Buthelezi is going to be on the poster.
But it's the ballot box that matters. And at that point, you and I might be told, now, who are the main actors?
Sure. Wow. You know, and at some stage, we're going to have a discussion, I imagine, Prof, about the former president's political career, right? This is someone who's given the bulk of his life to the ANC, at some stage was lauded within the governing party. And what a way for all of this to eventually end, you know, the prospects of expulsion, something which, at least according to my understanding, has never happened before for any leader of the ANC.
But what, the prospect of expulsion?
Right, or being expelled from the governing party in this way. I'm just trying to think of the kind of legacy, if you may, of the ANC. I mean, of Zuma
yes.
in the ANC.
Now, someone might say, de facto, he has fired himself. De jure, he is still a member of the ANC. Does he care about that? Hear him out, Ayanda, hear him out. He says, I'm doing what I'm doing to save my country and to save the party I served all my life. And there are those that message resonate with. And what is good for him, perhaps, is that the ground is germane for that type of thinking. The people have had it. After the first 15 years, we did well. The ANC did well, and it had a very capable CEO by the name of Thabo Mbeki. But from then it was a downward spiral. And Zuma is angry and bitter because he says, I was betrayed by the very people who supported me on 7 occasions where it through the mode of no confidence. But only when Ramaphosa won the elections, now as human beings, you know, as I do, they follow power wherever it goes. They dumped him, they ditched him, and I don't think he has forgiven them, and he wants to come even with them. Hence I say, it doesn't matter. If he can get the ANC to lose power, to go under 51, I think that is the price of the trophy he's aiming at.
Wow. Sure. Unenviable position for the ANC NEC, but many might say it's in a way of their own doing. Professor Lesiba Teffo, as always, great seeing you and speaking to you. Really appreciate your insights on the AM report today. Professor Teffo is a political analyst.